107.1 1FM, Davin and Anna in the morning. It's 9:28.
Good morning. All right, so 98 for high today, and then tomorrow...
No, 100 today.
101.
Yeah. I bet you expected that kind of weather when you came to Denver, huh, Bill?
No, I didn't.
We got Bill Burr in the studio, by the way.
I've been a huge football fan for years, so whenever I picture Denver, I just picture Craig Morton, Mile High Stadium.
Yeah.
And you know, you guys always get the first Monday Night Football game every year where you actually see snow is always the Denver thing. So
it is.
I didn't bring any shorts. I didn't bring anything. You know, this psycho with the camera is really freaking me out.
But let me tell you something.
He's tippy-toeing around me.
But I got to tell you that...
What are you trying to do here? You're trying to get
Sean,
my
get
point
over
of view,
here.
his Martin Scorsese over here.
All right, what we're doing is we tape stuff that we'll put online on our webpage occasionally.
You've been taping since I got in here. Like he did like a 3-camera shoot of me putting my headphones on.
You freak people out with that, Sean.
I told you about that.
Because he's tiptoeing.
We had Dave Attell in last week, and I was scaring him. He was freaking him out. Same
Dude,
thing.
you got to stop.
Yeah.
But you got to have like a relaxed vibe when you.
He's
walk
always
around.
like this. Even when there's not a camera, he walks in and out like 50
got that
times.
He's like an intern on a porno set.
You know what I meant?
Just running around.
I bet you freak out dogs.
Dogs?
Because dogs pick up that vibe. Like if you're comfortable, they're comfortable.
Right.
You start doing that little run he just did. They start going, okay, this guy's gonna try to mess me up. You could never work at the zoo.
Yeah,
He really could.
Do you freak out dogs? Do dogs fear
love
you?
me, I thought, anyway. Maybe I'm not...
Actually,
into
my
it.
dog hates you, so...
No, he doesn't.
No, he does. When you left, he was like,
You know what it is?
Man.
I think it's because the mics are on and we're on air. It's causing him to step outside himself and do a run that he would never do. I can't even explain. He did everything but have his hands like little paws.
Yeah, so now what do you got going on now? You've been doing...
I have a 1-hour comedy special coming out on Comedy
Is it funny?
Central. It's hilarious.
Okay, good.
It is it's going to redefine comedy.
All right.
It'll help with your sex life.
Excellent.
But only if you buy the DVD that comes out on September 16th. Huh? Look at me. I'm a pro. No, August 31st, it comes out on Comedy Central. It's called Why Do I Do This? I actually have the audio, the CDs that I'm going to be selling this week before they're even in stores. So that's another incentive to come down. Aside from the fact that my feature act is going to be topless.
Nice.
This week. So
I was hoping for that.
Oh, yeah. I swear to God.
Will you be as well?
I won't be. I'm a redhead. No one wants to see my glowing
some people
torso.
are really into it.
Aren't you glad you came to Denver? It's 100 degrees and you're,
And I didn't bring shorts either.
Yeah, and you have a suntan of Conan O'Brien. Isn't that great? You're
Really?
gonna be
Do I have
10
that
for your-
HD TV makeup that he wears that's like 9 inches thick at this point?
Oh, come
He
on.
is a level. No, he's hilarious. I love the guy, but
he's-
I'm not making fun of him. His makeup person. I mean,
Yeah. They slather on like you're not going to change the way he looks. He looks the way he looks. Deal with it.
She has like that Bugs Bunny, that big thing. Remember when that thing? They go makeup, and they'd hit him with that big thing. That's what they do.
All right,
They put orange makeup in like a pillowcase, and they just beat him with it as he walks into the studio.
He looks like a Cheeto by the time they're all done with it.
And I'm a
He's
fellow redhead, so I feel bad for him.
Well,
I got a good one for that makeup. One time, first time I did, I think it was Letterman.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell them to do my hands, so they because which is an acceptable mistake by a makeup person because like I'm a freak of nature. I'm like one step away from an albino. You know, you erase a couple freckles. I'm powdered.
White.
Yeah, I am. Thank you for telling me that.
Well,
terribly white, exactly.
Terribly white.
They forgot to do my hands, so I came out with my tan face.
Right.
Somebody said I look like Al Jolson, like I was doing some minstrel stuff. Mammy, how I love you, how I love you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, very quick break. Come back and talk to you. I want to ask you about some Chappelle Show stuff. If you have a...
Oh, okay.
I want to know,
told them not to embarrass you.
Because we're all big fans of what you did on there and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So hang on a second. Bill Burr, we're coming right back with him and Sean Kingston right after this on 1FM. Don't move.
K-O-N-N. How funny. Dude, that's hysterical.
No, it's true. They totally forgot to do it. Another time I was doing a sitcom, and I don't know, the lady had been doing the makeup well, but one week she did it, and I was literally. Did you ever see that old Cheers episode where they all go tanning? So they have
Oh, yeah.
I looked like that.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the guy I was working with, the actor, had like really nice skin, like olive. Just didn't even need makeup, so I looked even worse sitting next to him.
Yeah.
Terrific.
No, that's
Well, he actually has a tan right now, so he's looking good.
I'm pretty white. I'm a pretty white guy.
But the funny thing is,
Not after today.
Color on my arm.
But
No,
I'm
I'm
sick
gonna
of,
get dark today.
lately, we were talking about this when his mother came to visit, because my boy, we have 2 kids, and the little girl's got my skin.
She looks Portuguese.
But our little boy is blue-eyed, blonde hair. I mean, here's a picture when he was smaller, but he is like Whitey McGee.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And so I go to supermarkets and stuff, and people look at me
kids.
like they should send out an Amber Alert or something.
Oh, that's funny.
Like,
So now you live in New York?
No, I just moved to LA.
Are you married?
I lived in New York for like 10 years. Am I married? No, I'm not. I'm essentially married. I live with my girlfriend. She's awesome. I'm not leaving her. So
That works.
I'm not leaving her, and that's that.
yeah,
Can't talk me out of it.
no, she's the greatest. I'm just not into the whole legal documentation.
Right.
Fine.
Paperwork.
It's the behind the music contract.
So what happened to your hair? Did you shave it all off?
Yeah, well, it's starting to thin out, so I manned up.
That's what he did.
Right here, man.
There you go.
I used to have
She
like
didn't even
I used to have
shorten
like the
that.
Nelson locks, like down to here, all of
No,
this.
it's great.
Yeah, it's so
It's
much
the only
easier.
way to do it. If it's going to sit there and comb over and
Yeah, fuck that.
it's like, why would you do that? And who's
Right.
kidding who? I don't look like
Right.
Brad Pitt. It wasn't like I was getting there goes my
Right.
people's 50 most beautiful people. I am so content to play the friend.
Did you find this
In the
when I
movie.
shaved my head? Because I shaved, actually, Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child shaved my head in the studio here. We had her on camera.
She's so fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was.
She's
She was
a nice
way, and
girl.
way cool, too. She wasn't like a bitch or anything. She was really
Yeah,
nice.
she was really
So
cool.
anyway, we played this trick on a road manager. She's going to give me a little trim for a TV thing that I'm doing, and she takes the buzzers, just goes zzz, like straight across here. So I have this
You look like a
prodigy look
prodigy.
thing going. And the guy's like, "Oh God, what did he do to his? What she do to his hair? Blah blah blah."
Was she freaking?
No, she was in on it too. We were playing the trick on the other guy. Because the road manager will say, okay, you can ask her this, but don't ask her that. Don't ask her about Beyonce, but talk to her about, they have all these
Don't
people.
ask about the wedding. It was the
All
week.
these-
It was
yeah.
the day after
Was
The
the
day
Beyonce
after,
wedding.
yeah.
Whose wedding?
Jay-Z and
Beyonce
Beyonce, yeah.
got married a while back. I know, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the thing I found is ever since I shaved my head down, guys especially are so much more polite to you because
Oh, you
they
look like a suck dude. I look
Yes.
like I joined a hate group.
Yes, exactly. In fact, Dave Attell comes in. When Attell comes in, of course, he's funny as shit anyway. He comes in and he's like, "You're from Oklahoma. What are you? Why are you not a cage fighter? I thought all the guys like you were a cage fighter." I'm like, "No, I'm not a cage fighter."
Oh yeah, you definitely get the UFC look.
Yeah.
Like what gives you away is the lack of a cauliflower ear.
Yeah, if I
Yeah.
could do some makeup around here, they'd think I was.
Get some
Do you know I
clay.
heard that you can fix those things? Like you can get them drained and they
That's
don't look
disgusting.
as bad, but they're literally like. Yeah, but you know what's great about
That's
having a cauliflower ear is no one's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they know that you.
Yeah.
Even if you lost a one-punch fight and the guy punched you in the ear, the second they see that, they just think you know how to choke somebody out.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God!
So if you lose your
What a good
cauliflower, you
business
lose
that
all your
would
street
be.
cred. What?
What a good business that would be.
Fixing cauliflower or getting
Well, no, they have
cauliflower?
those sleeves that are tattoos. Why don't you just sell
Clip-on
ears?
cauliflower
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
This is good stuff.
Especially if your cheekbones are all swollen through here.
Oh, that would be good because you know, like when you get nervous now when you walk down the street, you just start acting like you're on your cell phone, like because someone could hear you getting your ass kicked, like that's somehow going to save you. If you added like if you add like a clip-on fucking cauliflower ear to that one, they're not going to mess with you.
Oh, I was talking about this on here.
You'll put it on the fucking website.
That's right. That's right, we will. And that's the other cool thing about what we're doing here. We have so much more freedom than what FCC regulates. So I can put it on the web, and you can say whatever you want to say. You can talk about whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay.
Yeah, you gotta have some content.
Because FCC makes radio suck for the most part. You can't do a lot of things that you would otherwise do and come up with. You know, I mean, you guys.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure. And that's one thing I want to ask you about is when you're doing a Chappelle show, how much stuff did you have to like edit and not do because
Well, you should
censorship?
probably
whatever?
this part. If you want to talk about it on air, you should save now because
Yeah.
if I tell you the whole story,
We'll say it. Yeah,
and
say
then
it.
I got to tell it again, you got to pretend to be interested.
Yeah, let's go.
I gotta act like I didn't just say
I'll
it.
ask you about this. Okay, can I ask you?
Why did the chicken cross the road? Get to the other side. You guys won.
107.11 FM, Davin and Anna in the morning with you. Good morning. It's 9:40. Okay, we got Bill Burr in the studio here. You've seen Bill Burr on HBO, One Night Stand. You've seen him on Chappelle's show. I mean, is that your biggest thing? Probably claim to fame right now.
HBO, Chappelle Show, Opie and Anthony Show. If
Oh,
you,
I love those guys.
Yeah, those guys are the
Absolutely
greatest.
love.
Yep.
I used to trade ideas with Opie a long time ago, back when they were in Boston.
And Anthony, what a looker.
Oh man, Fresh and Anthony.
Yeah, he is.
I love them.
on.
Are you serious? Let
Don't
me tell
do
you
that.
something.
Don't trash the guy and then
Listen
say
to
you love him.
me.
But he's
Listen
a good
to
guy.
me.
For a douchebag, I love that guy.
Yeah,
He's
no.
great.
Dude, okay, like you know where I'm from, right?
No, I don't.
Okay.
God, what an egomaniac. All of a sudden, I know exactly. I just got in here. Where are you from?
Whatever. Okay, so
I ask her that every day. Where are you from?
so like in high school, AAF.
That's a very Christmassy blouse you have on there.
Shut up, Bill.
noticed
Let
that.
me speak. So anyway,
You look like Santa Claus's mistress right now. She's trading up. He's getting himself a younger girl.
He is.
listen to me. We couldn't get the station like where I'm from, and so people it would come in all staticky and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So if you had a bumper sticker on your car, like an AAF bumper sticker, that was
Okay.
like the biggest thing on earth. You were like the coolest kid in school.
Oh, AAF was the greatest ever.
Yeah. So I
So what
like
did that have to
them.
do with Trash and Anthony?
Yeah.
Well, he's not exactly the most gorgeous guy in the world.
So
So
she
then
would
I
hear
started
his-
it over again.
She would hear his syrupy voice on the air and think, wow, he must be hot. Of Opie
He
and
has a
Anthony.
face for radio. But still, see, that's the thing, like we were talking this
And
morning.
we don't?
But I'm talking about...
I know.
When did we win a beauty
Exactly.
contest last?
All right,
Yeah.
listen.
Come on, Mrs.
What I'm
Claus.
trying
She ran out of stuff right there.
That's
There
right.
you go.
what I was trying to say is this morning our whole subject is, you know,
I'd get
sometimes you
booed
don't
off
have
a
to...
runway.
Sometimes you don't have to... Sometimes you don't have to have all the beauty to be like, he's a really funny guy and stuff.
Is that,
I would
you know
date
what?
him.
You know what you're reminding me of?
I would date him.
You're reminding me of my mother right now.
What?
Well, she just has to trash you before you get the compliment. You know what? The first time I ever did stand up on TV, I did the Conan O'Brien show. It was like that was
Right.
like '96 or something.
Yeah.
And I had my shirt untucked. That was kind of a newer look back then. You know.
Yeah.
After the '80s, you tuck everything in with the waist length.
Yes.
Remember the
Yeah.
leathers with the shoulder pads and stuff. Yeah.
Got it.
So
you had shoulder pads.
yeah,
That's
so
great.
I had like my shirt untucked, okay? My first time ever on network TV, I said, hey, Mom, what'd you think? She goes, you should have tucked your shirt in. It looked like you were wearing a dress. That's what she said.
Because you had a really long shirt on.
Yeah, so next
And-
time I wore a suit, and this is what she said to me. She goes, you shouldn't do any more short sets. You're much better when it's longer.
Always a critic.
Yeah, it was brutal.
I like her.
Huh? You like her? Is that what you're going to do with your kids?
It reminds me of, it reminds me of the good old days.
Yeah, the dysfunctional families you grew up
So
with.
your kids are going to come home from school and be, hey, you got an A in your math. Great. That's good because you're not much of a looker. So it's good that you're good at math because we need some people behind the scenes
I'm
to
trying
add
to
up
say
how much money the good-looking people are
I
making.
would still date him, is what I'm getting at. I would still date a guy like that because he's
Are you
got
back to
something-
Trash and Anthony again?
I'm not trashing him. I love the
Yes.
guy. God, you guys are bad.
Opie and Anthony, XM 202.
Listen, I got gifts to wrap.
Thank you.
I got to at least get a plug-in for him. He's going to take this kind of abuse and he can't even defend himself.
I've got gifts to wrap. I've got cookies to make. I'll be back.
All right, let me
Okay.
ask you about Chappelle's show really
Okay.
quick. It's extremely funny show, you know, when you guys had that going on. How much stuff were you not allowed to put on the air? Because, you know, we're running tape, you know, you got creepy Sean running around with the video
Oh,
camera.
I wasn't involved on that level. I did like 5 sketches. I was like one level above like the craft service guy. So like
Yeah, I remember
just,
seeing you once or twice.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I did
But-
I did 5. I just lucked out that I was in 5 huge ones, and I was on. For those people listening who don't know me, I was the redheaded white dude on it. I was on the racial draft.
Yep.
Yeah, the World Series of Dice and that type of thing. The biggest thing about that show though was they were all about throwing something in improving if you thought it was funny, and a lot of shows they won't let you do that.
Really?
Well, because you know
Cool.
the writers know what they're doing and they don't
No,
know
I mean
who you
improv.
are.
I didn't know that he did that. That's cool.
But like on Chappelle's show, they were, you know, they were
Right.
really cool about that. Like I remember asking Dave one time when we actually the handshake thing.
Yeah.
That we did on the World Series of Dice. I remember asking Dave, I want to do something. He goes, if it's funny, man, put it in. You know, he didn't care.
Right.
That was the worst Dave Chappelle impression ever. If it's funny, man, I just brought
Yeah.
my voice up, and all of a sudden I was Dave.
That was
I won't
great.
be doing any impressions at
Not
the
so much.
Comedy Works. Bill, do your Bill Clinton. I didn't have sex with that woman, man.
That was great. You turned into Bill Clinton just
Yeah,
then.
there you go. It just all sounds the same.
Oh dear.
What?
Well, they try. I mean, they try in here behind the scenes. I mean, people don't.
Oh,
know.
I mean, everybody's always like, you know,
If
I'm a
you
rich
think
bitch
I'm always-
and going on and
If
carrying
you
on.
guys
You know,
think that
so-
I'm always in a bad mood, is because you don't see what goes on behind the microphone.
Were your parents very critical of you?
Very critical.
Yeah, let's
My
get- let's
mom
get
is
in
like
here.
your mom.
Oh,
The
it's like
same
that.
type of thing.
So you didn't
exact
learn
thing.
anything about you just repeating the
Well,
mistakes.
well,
That's
I wanted
great.
to take theater.
I'm
in
glad she
school.
didn't beat you. Be tying your kids to the refrigerator.
Oh, my God.
Okay, if you're going to be abusive like this to me,
I told you I liked your blouse.
Yeah, he did. Benny said you look like Santa Claus's mistress, which is really
That's
hot.
a compliment, yeah.
Santa could have any woman in the world, and he chose
right.
you. Seriously. That's a good move. Thank you for that.
There
That's
you go,
nice.
right? See
Yes.
that?
All right, so you got a show tonight at 8 o'clock.
Yes, I do.
Comedy Works tonight, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, 8 and 10 o'clock. Saturday, 6:30, 8:30, 10. They're making you work for your money here, man. Look at all these shows.
Wow.
Yeah, but dude, my life is awesome. Though.
No,
Today
it's
at
cool.
1 o'clock, I'm going to go see Batman.
Are you
I mean,
serious?
who else gets to do that? It's ridiculous.
Well, we do. We get off the air
we
at
get
10.
to see
so.
Batman anytime.
Why did I have to ask the other guy with the cool job? You know, your average person who has to sit in a
you're
cubicle.
right. You're absolutely
They
right.
have to wait till 8 o'clock at night and, get there early to get a seat.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
why Sean works here, because he couldn't hold a regular job. He's always skipping out every
He's
so
got
often
some
to go
kind
see.
of
Hey, and how about
ADD?
giving up for Sean for immediately not being creepy from the rest on out? That's,
Yeah.
he picked a spot. He stayed there. It was like he wasn't even in the room.
He's not hovering around. Of course, he's not getting any good camera shots of you either. I mean, he's doing a crappy job at what he's doing, but it's fine. He's in one place.
Well, he ran behind me. That's when I was just like, what is he
People
doing?
running behind you that you don't know freaks you out, of course. What?
I told you. That's where David Tell was like looking like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah,
I
no,
really
you-
freaked him out.
You do. You're a freaky guy. You're
So,
creepy.
I tried to tell him about that. I'm gonna freak him out. I'm gonna freak Bill out when I get in here. I'm gonna
Well,
rock him.
don't roll your eyes like that. That freaks me
No,
out.
I was just saying.
And
that
if you could
I
not
was
make
trying
any-
to say that he was doing a great job. Now
If
you
you
guys
could
are
just
trashing him again.
not make any sudden moves, also, it kind of scares me a little bit. I fear for my own personal safety when you do that sometimes.
Yeah, go for more of the sweeping, jib shot, where you're going to make me look like it's an epic. But,
Anyway, you can catch all this at some point, hopefully in the next week or so, on our website as well, 1fmnation.com. So Comedy Works. Go check out Bill Burr at Comedy Works tonight, 8 o'clock, Friday, 8 and 10, Saturday, 6:30, 8:30, and 10:30. What?
It's going to be like Born Identity. You get like seasick from watching it. Ugh.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got one of these big screens, and we watch action flicks and stuff too fast. We get nauseous, like when you ride some of those sim rides. You know?
That movie was brutal.
Yeah.
That's why, something's funny about that? The way we shot out my special is we shot it the way they used to shoot them, where they don't cut to the crowd every 5 seconds.
Right, to make sure that they show that people are really laughing.
Yeah, and they don't offend anybody. Like they got to, if you do a joke, I got some Chinese food, then they just cut to some random Asian. They're probably like Filipino.
Right.
But that's good enough if they're laughing.
Or it might be footage from like the 70s where there's like some guy dressed in like, a total suit or whatever from the 70s. And it's old footage of somebody laughing from back in
those
the
are
day.
the worst. Or if they cut to somebody who's dying laughing at a different joke. You told something that's mildly funny, and there's literally a guy like beating himself to death, like it's the funniest thing he ever heard.
Yeah, so you don't have a lot of that in your...
No, I don't. It's just the special.
What, Anna?
It's just the special.
She
I
lo-
don't have any. Oh, people laughing. Oh, I get it. See, you automatically go negative. That's how you have to dress. That's why you have to dress so Christmassy to overcompensate for the fact that you're just such a downer, man.
Yeah, you can say bitch on the show if you want to.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Okay, fine.
I'm trying to help her.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do Dr. Bill here. What happened?
Dr.
Look at
Bill.
her in her little coffee cup with the whole little mountain landscape. You just keep presenting yourself as if you're going to say something nice, and you know something? It never happens.
She's truly the evil force on our show. She really is.
And you know what? You have to learn to love yourself, and then you'll learn to love others.
Okay.
Bill Burr, check him out. Comedy Works tonight. I almost said Comedy Central, but you're on Comedy Central all the time. And HBO's.
August 31st. Why do I do this? That's my special. Tape it, watch it.
That's on
Please
HBO
laugh.
or Comedy?
That's on
Central?
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central. August 31st.
That's right. I got everything up there from my HBO special to me getting hit with a donut from
Excellent.
someone in the crowd.
Is it from Dunkin' Donuts?
No, it was a Dunkin'. Maybe it was a Dunkin'. It was a Munchkin.
Those can hurt.
And
if
you're
they-
upset by this? You
I'm not
got
upset by it. I thought it was funny.
bruised like a peach?
No, no, it was great. It had a little powdered sugar on it, so when it hit me,
It left like a paintball mark?
It had like a little back and to the left, sort of Kennedy assassination about it.
It's good when we can work in a Kennedy assassination joke on the show.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
There are too few of those.
There's been enough time.
Come on,
Time has
Bill.
gone by.
Seriously, a powdered donut. Would it really show up on your skin?
Evil
That was
Anna.
good.
Thank you. Very good.
very good.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate you coming
Anything
in.
worse when you get someone, you trash them, and then they judge your joke? That was good. Like I got a little clipboard here. That's my way of saying I didn't have a good comeback for that. Except for you just snorted there. I like that. All right, I'm going to leave on that.
All right, Bill. Thanks for coming in. We'll be back on Monday, 6 to 10 a.m. Or no, tomorrow's Friday. We're back tomorrow. I always think it's Friday when he comes in. Shut up. Mrs. Claus.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
using
no,
his
no.
material
That's
now.
when it stops, because when the guy makes the joke, it's funny. When someone tries to repeat it, not so funny.
All right,
You
fine.
know, I think she made a good point there.
she did.
Let's make it nice and awkward. So go ahead, say something else funny about her.
I can just listen to her snore it again. That'll work.